Hey there, my name is Jacksonation, and today we have a nature attribute deck profile for all the new alchemists out there. I initially wanted to do this video a lot earlier, right? I had planned to do a deck profile for every single Akora attribute, just to have something out there for new alchemists. But it didn't come to fruition, ended up getting sidetracked, and I had a whole half a month worth of content that had ended up getting out, so it worked out. But yeah, now we're here today. Now, in the time since I had initially built this list, recreated, should I say, a new set has come out, and a new wave of nature attribute support is now in the wild, with the release of Grodhelm, and Discord users, Clayton, and other big Akora players have been taking advantage of this new support, and given the hardcore competitive players a run for their money. So this list is going to be a bit underwhelming, I'd say, in comparison to newer iterations of the attribute. But that being said, it is courtesy of Discord user Red Baron. I want to thank him profusely for giving me permission to use this list. He initially helped me out early on in my Akora career. He played the very first game of Tabletop Simulator I ever played was with him. He taught me a little bit about the game, and I'd like to give a little bit of thanks to him, because without that initial help, I wouldn't be where I am today. So let's get straight into it. First off, we're going to be going over the Akora itself. So we are playing 3 Yosei. This is out of order. We are professionals. Guys. 1, 2, 3 copies of Yosei. She is a nature attribute Akora, I should say. Very solid. It's our stage 1. Stage 2. Let's see here. Is right over here. Sutoka Yosei. 3 copies of that. 900 attack, 400 soul points. Not too shabby. It is also a warrior, so you get the warrior synergy. And then 3 copies of Kira-Yosei. You guys like poison counters? I like poison counters, because that's what this deck is all about. So let's get straight into it. First off, we are playing 12 Nature Relic Shards. This is a very solid number, I'd say. I'd say 9 to 12, 9 to 13 is pretty standard for most Akora decks. From there, we are playing our Battle Zone. We are playing Ancient Tree. Ancient Tree is just a very solid card. Effect: your Akora gains 100 attack power for each Nature Relic Shard you have in play. And when your Nature attribute only Akora attacks have of its soul points get added to its attack power. So you're at Kira-Yosei, you got 600 soul points, you're going to be dealing an extra 300 points of damage, which isn't too bad. Not too bad at all. Then we're playing 3 copies of Time Reversal. Time Reversal is a flash. It's just a very standard, good card. You can play or flip this card. Choose one of your opponent's alchemy cards, and it cannot be activated. Return it to the hand, and copies of that card cannot be activated until the end of the turn. Time Reversal is just a very good card to get annoying cards out of the way. From there, we are playing 2 copies of Warrior's Amulet. It's an armament that says equip only to a warrior type Akora. The equipped Akora gains 50 soul points for each relic shard you have in play. And when you would take attack damage, you may destroy this card, search your alchemy deck for a relic shard, reveal it, and add it to your hand. Very solid. So you're just getting to search a shard, and say you have a lot of shards out, you're also getting quite a bit of soul points. So this is definitely a very big soul point deck. And then with effects like Ancient Tree, those soul points get turned into attack points. So it's just always very good synergy there. We're then playing 2 copies of Ancient Calling. Again, not too much needs to be said here. It's just a very good staple card. Opponent attacks, flip it, negate the attack. Simple as that. From there, we are playing 3 copies of Not the Berries. Not the Berries is a relic cost of 3 flash that says player flip this card and place up to 4 poison counters on your opponent's Akora. You can only activate Not the Berries once per turn. So getting those poison counters out there, that's just a very good way to place poison counters. And with the other cards here, you'll see what those poison counters are going to do. Crippling Antidote is a flash that says during your turn, remove all poison counters in play, and for each poison counter removed, deal 50 damage to your opponent's alchemy essence. So, say you get a lot of counters out, you're going to be dealing some serious damage there. Got 2 Eternities in the form of Akilian Orchids. When played, place 2 poison counters on your opponent's Akora, and each poison counter on an Akora reduces its attack power by 25 and soul points by 10. Once during your turn, you may destroy one of your Relic Shards, draw a card, and place a poison counter on each Akora. So, this is pretty good because you get the initial 2 poison counters. Say you get some off of your Not the Berries, so you're just getting so many poison counters, and you're just constantly weakening the opponent. And then each time you can destroy a Relic Shard, and you can just keep adding more counters. So honestly, you're just kind of chipping away at the opponent. You are constantly decreasing their stats in annoying increments. Because let me just say 25 attack power, okay. But soul points by 10, like, it's just annoying increments. It's just annoying. Sulfur Splash, another flash that says player flip this card. Place 2 poison counters on either yours or your opponent's Akora. Probably going to be your opponent's, no real reason to place them on your own. And reduce the attack power of your opponent's Akora by 100 for each poison counter on it until the end of the turn. So basically, the negative effects on this are especially temporary, but still a very solid card, Sulfur Splash. We got some armaments over here. We got 3 copies of Elven Glass Blade. Not grass, glass. Equip only to a warrior type Akora. Your Akora gains 200 attack power, and when you deal attack damage, you may destroy one of your Relic Shards, or this card and draw a card. So just some very good attack boost and draw potential there. Very solid. From there, we're playing 2 copies of Woodland Daggers, some armament introduced in Spellbound Wings. The equipped Akora gains attack power equal to its current soul points. So again, the more soul points you have, the more attack power you're getting. A very solid card, in my opinion. We then have 2 copies of Triple Shot. Now, Triple Shot is an armament that says the equipped Akora gains 300 attack power. Now, during your turn, if your Alchemy Essence or your Akora's soul points are higher than your opponent's, which are both very possible, you may destroy this card and discard 1 Nature Attribute Alchemy card. Destroy one of your opponent's face-up Alchemy cards. Very solid. Just destroying this card and a discard to destroy a very problematic card, potentially. Very solid. Could be a battle zone, could be an eternity, who knows. Say you're playing water, they're locking a zone, not anymore. And finally, we have another eternity, a relic cost of 3, 2 copies of Undergrowth. Undergrowth reads, whilst active, your opponent's Akora loses 50 soul points for each nature relic shard you control, and during your turn, you may destroy this card, search your alchemy deck for 1 nature relic shard, reveal it, and add it to your hand. So again, you can destroy it, get a search, and on top of that, remember that other effect? Remember, was it Triple Shot? Yeah, so Triple Shot, if your Alchemy Essence or your soul points are higher than your opponent's, you're going to be weakening them with Undergrowth, you can get Triple Shot's effect. So the deck has very solid synergy. I'd just say in terms of recent competitive Akora, I think decks that are more aggressive in nature, the more attack boosting decks, are generally the ones that do better. Like the more damage you can do early game, those kinds of decks are the ones that are winning. That's why Dark's so dominant right now, is because, you know, you can get your Forbidden Alchemy, your Crossroad Deal combo, and you can be attacking, you know, using your stage 1 Akora, and you can be attacking for, you know, the attack points equivalent of your Magna Kage, stuff like that. And that early game is oftentimes a lot more than what people can handle, what their decks can prevent. So I think it's a very mid deck, but especially by today's standards, but it's still a very solid list. And yeah, so that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel financially, check out the Patreon in the description. But that's going to be all for today. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.